Okay, so this is a question. We've got a team of engineers at a technology company developing a new robot that they hope to use in manufacturing environments. They want to test the robot's intelligence to determine whether it's ready for deployment. Which of the following tests would be most appropriate for evaluating the intelligence of the robot described above? Turing test, coffee test, employment test, college student test. Explain the answer. Pause the video, give it a go yourself first. Okay, so the best or the most relevant test would be the employment test, because we're talking about manufacturing, so it has to perform jobs. This test is specifically designed to assess the intelligence of artificial intelligence systems by evaluating their ability to perform tasks that are typically associated with human employment, i.e. in manufacturing, such as reading, writing, and problem solving. These skills would be relevant for a robot in manufacturing environments, as a robot would likely need to be able to understand and follow instructions from humans, communicate with humans, and solve problems in order to function effectively as a human would. So in manufacturing, like making something, producing, like, I don't know, a toilet seat or a toilet, it has to go through a series of steps, but you're working together in a team, not solo. So Nielsen's employment test would be the most appropriate. What would be the biggest clue for this? Well, it's the fact that it's going to be used in manufacturing. Here's another scenario. Pause the video, give it a go. Okay, let's do a solution. So in this scenario, the most appropriate test would be the college student test, because we're talking about universities here. Now, and it's talking about teaching. Teaching needs to have the ability to solve problems. So remember, the college student test is all about an AI going through school, doing tasks which humans would do, like math, etc., and graduate. If you graduate, you're therefore able to teach. That is what we're suggesting here. Have a read of this information. So we're talking about the fact that we are using the test. We then talk about what the test is about. Critical thinking, solving math problems, etc. And it needs to, and then we talk about, for a virtual tutor, it needs to be able to explain concepts, provide guidance and support for students as they work through problems, and encourage critical thinking and problem solving. It then mentions why the other tests won't be appropriate. So, an introduction, an explanation of why this is the most appropriate test by talking about what the test is about, what it allows for, and why it's suitable for the scenario. This bit here is about why it's suitable for the scenario, so I'm going to make another paragraph here. This is then talking about the other tests, why they are not appropriate. Let's do another one. Pause the video, read the scenario, give it a go yourself first. Okay, so I'm going to shrink this. I'm going to move the answer over here. In this scenario, we're talking about the employment test again, same as before. We then talk about the skills from here, which have been mentioned, which would be useful for the scenario, which is all about dealing with customer service. We then talk about again that the other tests are not appropriate. I suppose I could elaborate a little bit more on this bottom bit. Why are these other tests, each one, not appropriate? So each one. But for now, if this was like a 5 or 6 mark question, that would be enough. 6 mark. This one's slightly harder. Pause the video, give it a go yourself first. So it's that time again. Let's shrink this question. Let's put the answer in. Let's shrink it. So, oops, that's going to be my next line. The correct test would be the Turing test. Why would it be the Turing test? Well, the Turing test is, remember, all about computer versus human. Which one is a human? Which one's a computer? It has conversations, and so the questioner, which is a human questioner. So you have the questioner. And then you have the computer, you have the AI. The questioner will ask a question, it will get an answer from the What am I talking about? Computer and AI. Let's rewind that. We have a human person, so I'm going to do P for person and C for computer. They both give an answer, and the questioner, who's a human, has to decide which one's a human and which one's a computer. So it could be, describe what is meant by, let's say, artificial intelligence. The human will give an answer, the computer will give an answer, and the human has to say which one's a human and which one's a computer. That's how it's trained. If you look at the scenario here, it's about having conversations. Well, by being able to have conversations, it needs to act like a human. So it needs to fool the human to believe that it is a human itself. So this test is designed to assess the ability of an AI intelligent system to exhibit the intelligent behavior that is indistinguishable from a human. Indistinguishable. So that a human doesn't know if it's a person or a computer. So this is useful for AIs, which are all about conversation, because if you're a customer and you're calling up to make a complaint to an airline company, and you're doing it online through like a chat box, you don't want to feel that a computer's talking to you and that you've just been left hang out to dry. You want to feel important. You want to feel special. So you want to feel like you're talking to a human. By being trained really well and by passing the Turing test, we're basically saying the computer is acting like a human. No one can tell the difference. Go and do your job. This bit is talking about how it relates to the scenario, such as a conversational agent, and this is talking about why the other ones are not appropriate.